Just so you know, because I wouldn't ever want you to run into any trouble, in Massachusetts, it is a two-party consent state, meaning that the person you're recording does have to consent to being recorded.
This is the Boston Public School. You work for the public school, so I'm just saying you're a little incorrect with that. You work for the public, you're in the public sector. This is Boston Public School. It's concerning my daughter. I'm creating an objective record, so I'm very much within my rights to record this. Just like, you know.
I just wouldn't want you to ever get... One other thing you mentioned, so your daughter's a corner stop student. So our policy is actually such that corner stop students can get off the bus without a parent or guardian present there.
She's 5 years old.
I understand, but...
Are you serious?
Corner stop students can get off the bus without a parent or guardian present.
Who do I need to talk to get that changed?
That's always been our policy.
Okay, that's
I can,
that's
certainly
crazy
file a
right there.
complaint.
Yeah, I want to file a complaint about that and what happened with the bus driver yesterday.
Yep.
That's totally irresponsible right there to allow a child. Are you serious? I mean, I'm not directed to you.
No,
Thank you for helping me out. But you guys you have children in care. You can't just let them go out in the street like that, especially with all the kidnappings and stuff that's going on. You know, you don't give a child that young an option to get off.
I'm just a picture in the frame. Pause. I paint word pictures on the canvas of life.
I'm everywhere in public. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Resistance. I'm here at Boston Public Schools to make a complaint about the transportation department that drops my daughter off after school. I've had several issues with them. I've also made a video prior, and this is me creating an objective record and trying to get some answers as to why I keep having to call up with complaints. I see if they respect. Hi, I'm here to file a complaint.
Oh, file a complaint. Okay.
Yes.
You can have a seat. I'll have somebody come and help you.
Okay.
I thought you were picking up tea patches, but have a seat.
How you doing? I'm here to file a complaint with the transportation department concerning my daughter.
Okay, who's your daughter?
I have the information right here. I am recording, so I appreciate if you keep her information confidential.
Sure, let me go get a notepad so I can...
Okay. You can take this with you. It's just a... May I have your name, please?
Daniel Rosengard.
Daniel Rosengard. That's the information. If you need my number or anything, I have to write that down as well.
Yes,
but I also had some questions as well.
Sure. What's your name?
My name is John McCullough.
John McCullough.
Yes.
Alrighty. So, how can I help?
Okay, so I've made several complaints within the past 2 months since she's been taking the bus from school. Never have any issues with the AM driver or issues period with the AM shift. It's always been with the PM shift. I spoke to Luis a few times. The first issues were about, and still is the unreliability of the app. The My School Bus app. It's very unreliable. It goes off at times while the driver is en route. Due to the traffic situation, it's a gamble for me to make, at the time, to make it 3.5 blocks to the bus stop. That has changed now. Louise had changed that situation and had them drop him off in front of my, had the school bus driver make a change into the drop-off location and drop my daughter off at the house. So that's changed. But what happened is yesterday was the first time for that. And she was an hour late. Not only that, she called from the bus driver's phone.
Your daughter called.
Yes, and the reason why he had the number is because I have that in her book bag. So he gave her his phone to use. I mean, it's COVID-19 season, you know, like, that's really crazy right there. Not only that, like, I have questions like, what is the policy if a driver is unsure of what to do with a child? So he waited at the original stop. I want to know if he was aware of the change or if he wasn't aware of the change, because if he wasn't, that's really a bigger problem.
So the driver, you're saying, gave his phone to your daughter.
Yes, I have the number in my phone if you guys want to, see if that's true or not.
And she called you
She called me
to say that the bus was running late?
No, she called me and said, Daddy, the bus driver doesn't know that he's supposed to drop me off in front of the house now. Yesterday was the first day of the drop off. Now everything went off good. Everything went off well with on the AM shift. I never had no problems with him, and even with the other issues, I never had a problem with the AM shift.
Could you give me the number that called? That would help just to make sure we can fully verify this.
Sure.
And so if a driver ever has a question, just about their route, like a basic route question, they would typically radio dispatch. Or if the driver's running late, if they're running more than 15 to 20 minutes late, we ask that they radio that into dispatch so that we can then send out a message to you so that you know the bus is running late.
Okay, well,
And if they have a safety concern, they can radio the safety desk.
Okay, I don't want to catch anything
Oh,
on your screen. I'm just
going.
I need to make you aware of something. That has never happened during the times that I complained since the past 2 months she's been catching this bus. The first 2 times, which you guys may not be aware of, is that he dropped her off without me being there. And the reason why I wasn't there is because the unreliability of the app, and I was 3.5 blocks away. So sometimes if some kids don't get on in the morning, then he doesn't have to go that extra distance, and then he'll make a right, and it's entirely too late for me to get to that location in time. I'm a single dad. I don't have a vehicle. So he dropped my child off with another parent. And I don't know, I guess she made him feel comfortable that it was okay, but I'm pretty sure that's not your policy. And imagine how surprised I was when she shows up to my door telling me, hey, because she has a little girl as well that gets on the same stop.
Yep.
The reason why she and I have each other's number is because since the beginning, I was always kind of panicky because of the unreliability of the app. So I was talking to her, and we both exchanged numbers, and that's how we was able to communicate that she had my daughter when he dropped her off to her. I know that's against your policy right there.
Yep.
And I've complained about that twice already. Now, there was the issue yesterday with the phone. It's a pandemic out here. Not only that, he calls me instead of calling you guys to find out. I need to figure out if he was aware of the new drop-off location or if there was any neglect on the department's behalf. But if it is, this is my 3rd issue with this driver, and I'm stressing out almost every day.
Yep.
Even with yesterday being the new location to drop off, I'm still stressing.
Yep.
So, depending on what you guys could tell me at this point, is there a far reach for another driver to replace him?
So let me take these and make sure I'm able to address each of them. So the bus app unreliable, you're able to log in, is that correct? And
Yes.
it's just sometimes the GPS maybe not accurate or delayed or something? Is that what you're experiencing?
So it's
with that?
delayed, and sometimes it goes off period, and it gives you a notification that, sorry, we receive unexpected interruption.
Yep.
And by the time it comes back on, it's like 3 or 4 minutes away from my house.
Yep. Okay. So I will have the maintenance team at the bus yard double check. I think they've already done this. So I'm guessing when you dealt with Kyle Lewis, he already requested they do this, but I'll make sure they do it again to check the GPS on the bus and make sure it's working. There are parts of the city where GPS is just less reliable than there are dead spots, and that is outside our control. But we will do everything we can to make sure that the GPS on the bus is functioning correctly. Now to confirm, your daughter's new stop. Okay. So, we sent over the paperwork with the new bus information, and so the driver should have had that yesterday. We will do a full investigation to figure out why the driver was not aware of that, and take next steps from there based on what we find. One other thing you mentioned, so your daughter's a corner stop student. So our policy is actually such that corner stop students can get off the bus without a parent or guardian present there.
She's 5 years old.
I understand, but
Are you serious?
corner stop students can get off the bus without a parent or guardian present. However, nobody should ever force them off the bus. So if a student, say a 5-year-old says, hey, I don't see my dad, I don't want to get off the bus, then the driver should be saying, okay, let me radio into safety.
Who do I need to talk to get that changed?
That's always been our policy.
Okay, that's
I can,
that's
certainly
crazy
file a
right there.
complaint.
I want to file a complaint about that and what happened with the bus driver yesterday.
Yep.
That's totally irresponsible right there to allow a child. Are you serious? I mean, I'm not directed to you.
No,
Thank you for helping me out. But you guys you have children in care. You can't just let them go out in the street like that, especially with all the kidnappings and stuff that's going on. You don't give a child that young an option to get off the bus. I need to talk to somebody about that now. If anybody that's higher than you, who I can put a complaint in or to challenge that. I mean, that's almost like, what are we waiting for? Something detrimental to happen to a child before a lawsuit happens? You understand?
No, I understand. That is our policy, though. I'm one of the assistant directors here. I can see if the director's available now, although I
And this
believe
is
she's in a
Boston
meeting.
Public Schools policy.
Yes, it is.
That's very neglectful for Boston Public School.
So, like I said, I can see if the director's available now, or if not, I can make sure that she has your information to, to follow up.
Wow. Are there any plans to update this My School Bus app? I know you said that in some areas it'll go out.
Yeah, so
I think it goes out too often. That's how I feel about it. It goes out too often. Almost every day is a problem. And who monitors the routes of the bus drivers? Because there's a lot of times when the bus drivers are leaving this lot after 4 o'clock. My daughter gets out of school 4 o'clock.
So we have, so in my role, I oversee our operations and customer service teams, and we have an AM shift and a PM shift for operations and customer service teams. Also, the dispatch and safety teams at the bus yards. Also, all of us are here working in real time until we hit the all clear every day, and all clear meaning every bus has dropped off
So
all
you
students.
guys
all
are
students.
aware that they're leaving the lot
Yep.
late.
Yep. The reality this year is nationally, school districts are facing a school bus driver shortage, and so we're just experiencing a lot of operational challenges that, in prior years we haven't been having. This is not an excuse that, we need to continue working to improve, but So yes, and we are following up, both making system-wide improvements as well as individual buses when we learn of them being late. We're following up on each of those to figure out, is this an operational issue? Is this a routing issue? And making adjustments as needed to correct that.
Okay. Is there anybody else I could speak to about this situation that your guys' policy is you give the children an option? I mean, as young as 5. I can see at a certain age. But 5 years old, come on. I need to talk to somebody about that.
I understand. So I'm gonna, can you leave me your phone number as well? And I'll make sure
I could write it down for you.
The director, my boss, follows up with you when she's able to. And then I will follow up with the yard maintenance team as well as our IT team to check on the bus app. Now our IT team has been making improvements to that and is constantly working on that, but we know that it's not yet where it needs to be. And we will also do a full investigation into what happened yesterday.
How soon you think I could be able to hear back from this? Because if I don't hear back from you guys tomorrow, I'll be back down here. I'm tired of this. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, John. I understand. This
is the level that I have to take it to now. And, it shouldn't be like this. I'm a single dad. I should be, be comfortable with you guys taking my daughter back and forth to school without all these problems. Really. Am I able to go to the, down to the bus yard and complain as well?
No. That needs to come through us.
Okay, I figured that because I actually called to find out where can I physically come in to make a complaint. So I was going to go down there, but I take your advice because you've been helpful and you've been taking care of me. I appreciate that.
No, of course. So,
but I need you to relay the message that, first of all, this will be publicized. This will be made public.
I have no problem with that. Just so you know, because I wouldn't ever want you to run into any trouble. In Massachusetts, it is a 2-party consent state, meaning that the person you're recording does have to consent to being recorded.
Yeah, but this is a public issue. This is
public. Like I said, I have no problem. Everything I say, I would say publicly.
And you guys, this is the Boston Public School. You work for the public school, so I'm just saying you're a little incorrect with that. You work for the public. You're in the public sector. This is Boston Public School. It's concerning my daughter. I'm creating an objective record. So I'm very much within my rights to record this. Just like you know.
I just wouldn't want you to ever get in trouble. But like I said, I have no problem. You're welcome to record everything I say. So we will begin the investigation. I will try to make sure we follow up with you tomorrow. I can't promise we will have all the information we need by then, but as quickly as I can, we'll get it all. And like I said, when the director is able to,
I will receive answers on what you guys are going to do with the driver. That's most important because that driver has my daughter in his care during the times that he's bringing her from school to home, and I'm not happy with it. Right. So I need to know what's going to happen with the driver. Actually, this is the 3rd issue. I'm requesting a driver change, and I don't think that's a far reach for me to be requesting that, because of the things that I've been going through. Yep. So I expect to hear something on that, firstly.
Understood.
And then secondly, the policy that you guys have about dropping kids off, giving them the option to get off the bus at a young age as 5 years old. That's not good. So actually, I'm going to be beating on that for a while because y'all guys need to change that policy.
No problem. What I always tell parents is I highly encourage you to advocate on behalf of, your children, other children, all children, because...
Anything else that I need to know, any pertinent information? There's no physical paper that I could fill out for you guys to have a record that I'm complaining?
Why don't you come around and I'll be happy to create a ticket right now and putting in all the information we shared, and there's nothing private up on this. We've pulled everything else down. I'm just going to create a ticket with your information and I can give you the ticket number.
Thank you. Well, one thing I need to know is if the driver was aware of the new stop, or, was it negligence on his part or on the or if it was inside,
Understood.
departmental
Yep.
issue.
So we send over.
Because those need to be addressed if it is, whatever it is, if it was the driver's fault or if it was the departmental issue, we need to find out.
Yep. So every Thursday night we send over the paperwork for any changes to the routes that will take effect the following Wednesday. And then
Every Wednesday night.
right. So the change went into effect on Wednesday. That's the only day of the week that changes go into effect for
Yeah.
us. So on Thursday nights, our routing team sends over the routes.
He should have been notified.
One is that the afternoon bus has been regularly late.
Mhm.
Okay. Consistent lateness with the PM bus. And two, yesterday, February 2nd.
Although that's not really an issue of mine, it's the
Right, so the
consistent
big
lateness,
issue
because I
is
understand
the driver-
with the traffic.
The driver,
As long as I'm able to rely on the
not aware
app,
of the new stop.
right,
And
dropping
and
my in the
driver-
past, the driver dropping my daughter off. But you guys said that's your policy right now.
that is the policy. So that's, the driver is doing
Right.
following policy for doing that.
Right.
However, and I'm going to note that you are making a complaint about the policy as well.
Right. My main
Specifically
issue.
for the driver, it's
my
that they
main
were
issue-
not aware of the stop, and that they had. You're saying that the driver gave his phone to your daughter to call you.
Yes. You got the number, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that was the truth right there. Yeah, thank you. That's the main issues.
Complaints about corner drop-off policy. Okay, so if you want to take this down, I can give you the ticket number.
Okay. You could just say it, please. And that's
Call
the ticket
refer to-
complaint
That's
number.
the ticket number. So if you ever call and say, hey, I'm following up on ticket 46716.
Okay.
But also, I will make sure that I follow up with you
All right.
once we have additional information.
All right. Thank you for being professional. Wasn't my intention to have this camera in your face, but I just feel as though that it got to this point where I needed to create an objective record. Well, I appreciate you for being helpful and professional as well. I think you're probably about the only person that I've contacted who's been a professional. Luis as well. Your representatives, they do a good job as well. It's basically, I think you guys need to pay attention to what's going on at that bus yard. When I conclude this recording, I'm going to send you a recording that I made 2 years ago at the bus yard. Coincidentally, it has nothing to do with what's going on now. Okay? Like I told you, I record in public. I create objective records all the time.
No problem.
And I just think that the footage that I'll give you, the link that I have that I'm going to give you, will make you guys want to pay attention a little closer to what's going on in that bus yard.
Well, I assure you we're paying very close attention. I meet as part of another group every single day with some of the top leadership over at the bus yard. We have a fleet and compliance manager who her whole job basically is to make sure that the work at the yards, that they're in compliance with all policies, that they're operating correctly. So, but that said, very open to. We know that we have work to do, and there's always improvements to be made, and so certainly would be happy to look at anything you have that shows other ways that we can, make sure we're doing our job better and keeping
Okay, and
students
just
safe.
take note that it was 2 years ago.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure you guys changed a lot of things within the department since then, but it's still something to look at.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
All right, good to meet
And
you.
I hope
Good to talk
that
to you, John.
I hope
I'm
to
sorry
not,
it was
I hope
under
to
these
not have any
circumstances.
issues today. I hope
Yep.
my daughter, arrives, at my home at the corner, the new location on time. I will be following up. Hopefully, I'll hear from you first. But thanks
sir.
a lot for everything.
No problem.
Have a good day.
Alrighty, let me walk you out.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All the best. Take care.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that's what happened. I'm hoping that I get a new bus driver for my daughter because this has happened too many times. I'm just a black man with cameras.